it felt like if everyone who was advising her told her this was a good idea, that is not where I would have made the grand comeback. It's like announcing your exploratory committee on the sinking deck of the Titanic.
Hey everyone. So The View may be going on its annually scheduled seasonal break, but The View ladies are not going to be quiet. No, they have important political opinions and insights to share with the public. So while they may not be doing it on their show, they have plenty of other channels to go on to speak their minds. So that's exactly what Alyssa Farah Griffin did on CNN in a panel. Now, the panel was discussing Kamala's disastrous interview with Stephen Colbert, which was a very tough watch. Now, the panel does not deny this. In fact, they pretty much lace into her. Even Alyssa Farah Griffin, who, keep in mind, voted for Kamala in the 2024 presidential election. So let's hear what she has to say about the woman whom she cast her vote for.
This interview felt like a microcosm of everything that's wrong with Democrats post-election. Going to CBS and this sort of trying to make a point that they fired Stephen Colbert, which many on the left called an attack on democracy, a man who was making $20 million a year, someone I hold in high esteem, but the economics of his show were not working. He was losing $40 million a year. He was in the Ed Sullivan Theater, which is expensive. To talk about the plight of democracy at CBS, a network that's having its own struggles right now, rather than talking about the economics of the situation and playing to something, a shrinking audience that is network television, not realizing it's not where the American voters are. It felt like if everyone who was advising her told her this was a good idea, that is not where I would have made the grand comeback. It's like announcing your exploratory committee on the sinking deck of the Titanic.
Yes, that's a very apt comparison. Stephen Colbert is being canned, and Kamala Harris decides that this is the show where she's going to debut in public basically for the first time since the election. It's not that she's been a total hermit, but certainly she hasn't made the sort of bombastic public appearances that she was making when she was running for office. And so she goes on Stephen Colbert's show, and I think that her team knew that Stephen Colbert was going to be a very friendly interviewer and have a very friendly audience. Now, Kamala would probably find a pretty friendly audience at any of the late night shows. I mean, she's not going on Kill Tony, as amazing as that would be, but I doubt that Seth Meyers, for example, really would have given her much pushback. In any case, yes, she went on the show. She punted any question that had the whiff of difficulty to it. She couldn't even answer the question, what would you do differently? Now, you would think that someone who lost would spend a lot of time reflecting on what they should have done differently. But no, she didn't want to answer that. She wanted to talk about Dougie and how he forgot her birthday. And probably more importantly, she wanted to talk about how the U.S. is really a country of broken institutions and broken systems. Well, it sounds like the talk of a sore loser to me. Not to mention the fact that she had 4 years as vice president to try to fix some of those systems if she really thought they were so broken. But instead, it seems like she spent that time doing nothing. Making Venn diagrams, maybe. I don't know what she does in her personal time. I'd be very curious. Maybe I'll buy the book. But Alyssa was not the only one with critiques for Kamala. Harry Enton jumped into the conversation to offer his own remarks. So let's go to that.
Can't possibly believe that someone who was Attorney General for a good period of time, a United States Senator for a good period of time, and then Vice President for 4 years, and then ran for President, all of a sudden believes that the best way to solve it is from being outside the system? Oh, please. Not a chance on God's green earth that that's necessarily the case. What's probably going on is she saw what the polling numbers were, perhaps, for her running for governor of California. Yes, she has left open the idea that maybe she could run in 2028 for the Democratic nomination. But I'll tell you, Abby, I've looked at those numbers. She would be the weakest front runner since 1992. So the bottom line is this. She's looking at the numbers. She knows what's cooking. And then all of a sudden, you know what? Actually, this lifelong politician, I want to be outside the system. Give me a break.
Wow, so much skepticism. Maybe Kamala really just wants to mount another presidential bid so she can fix our country, and she has to hedge her ambitions at this stage in her career. Now, if any Democrats are listening, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Please, 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 please. Please. Nominate Kamala Harris as the Democratic nominee in 2028. That's it. I just want to say that that decision would have my full support. But jokes aside, Enton is of course correct. Kamala is a career politician. She's a climber. She's a striver, at least based on appearances. And it seems very unlikely that she would give it up this late in the game. Now, this is total speculation, but she could be being advised to keep a lower profile, especially as fallout from Biden's administration is ongoing. People who were intimately involved with Biden or his administration, or both, are keeping a very tight lid on the inner workings of that administration. The public has a lot of questions. They want to know about Biden's auto pen usage. They want to know about Biden's mental health. They want to know about Biden's physical health. And all of these things remain unanswered. And so even many Democrats, I think, are very disillusioned and unhappy with their party. Republicans, of course, have nothing better to say about the Democrats, but it's a little less heart-wrenching for them since they weren't going to vote for them anyway. But I think that the best possible outcome for Kamala Harris's career and life and legacy is that she continues to go on talk shows so that everybody can make fun of her. It's just nice to have some bipartisan bonding every now and again. But what did you think of the interview? What do you think of the takes here? Let me know in the comment section below. Give this video a like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.